What is up, YouTube tool tubers of the world? My name is Brad. Welcome to the workbench. Today, I had an experiment that actually worked, and luckily I filmed along the way, so I'm going to show you how you can make a very cheap, very quick bench dog system for a plywood workbench for less than $5 and probably less than 5 minutes. These out of whatever your heart's desire is. I got this piece of scrap. I was going to make them out of plywood, but this looks pretty. I'm going to make a round one and a square one. That looks about right. And I think this was an 1.1/8 hole saw, something like that. We'll just take it out, and then what you're after is this piece right here. Get you some kind of poking tool, some kind of jabber, and get it out of there. There's a round one. What's nice about that is it's already got a hole in the center. And now I'm gonna cut some square ones out of whatever's left of this, just because I think I'm gonna prefer the square, but this is kind of new to me too, so I don't know. And next you're just going to find the center of your squares or rectangles. As you can see, it really doesn't matter what size. Experiment and find out what you like. I just eyeballed these and cut them. I'm going to drill a hole right in the center. Now the size of the hole is going to be whatever size of bolt you decide to use. I went with 1/4-20. Next we're going to countersink this little hole. Got my nice little countersink right here. If you don't have one of these kind of countersinks, a step bit is a wonderful countersinker, and if you don't have a step bit, you need to get one. What are you doing with your life? It's a very useful bit. Now you want your metal plenty below the surface of the wood, because if you're planing over this, you definitely don't want to hit this. You'll just ruin your edge right there. You're going to want to do the same thing with your circle, and holding a circle piece in here is pretty tough to do. Luckily, I just got this new Milescraft corner clamp. Now this isn't what it's for, but it works damn good. I really found it does a really nice job of holding awkward pieces like this, especially smaller pieces. The reason it does so well holding these little circles and small objects is because they put this little lip in right here. So the Milescraft corner clamp, check them out. I don't think they're too expensive. I'll put a link in the description. Very useful for much more than just corners. Alright, we want our circle to have a flat spot to clamp up against, so we'll just hack this end off. Well, fuck. I guess it wanted to be shorter. We'll go with it. Alright, we're going to take a known flat chunk of wood I got here. Some sandpaper. So feel free to skip this section if you want, because it's really not necessary at all. Now here's the secret sauce of the whole thing. I went ahead and drew a line directly from my vise. This is just kind of a test run for me to see if this thing really works that well, because I'm about to make a mobile top for my table saw, which is typically my workbench, because it's really hard to do planing and stuff like that up against a wall. I've made this straight line. I'm going to drill a hole here and here, and we're going to put in these flush threaded inserts. Make sure they're flush, that way they're out of your way when you're not using them. These are 1/4-20, just like the bolts, and I'm using a 5/16 hole for the outside diameter. They make it to where you can install these with an Allen wrench, but honestly I think it's easier if your hole's going all the way through, or if you got a really short 1/4-20 bolt, just to bottom it out in here, and then use a socket and ratchet or a screwdriver just to go ahead and insert it. I had to install one in my small vise as well because I don't have a pop-up dog, but if you have a pop-up dog, you're pretty much done. So let's take a look at how it works. I got this random piece of pine right here that I'm going to work on, and I want to clamp it up. So what I'm going to do is I had to make this screw smaller, no big deal. Or dog, it's a dog now, I'm sorry. Now you can use epoxy to epoxy these in place, but right above my bench I always keep 2 screwdrivers. And I'm not a constant hand tool worker, so I'm going to leave mine loose. If you're going to epoxy them, just make sure that when you hit the bottom of your screw, your flat end is facing where you're clamping, of course. We got our little pop-up dog on our vise installed, and now we're going to put our bench dog in. Alright, so we got our workpiece, we got our dogs installed. I never installed my vise the right way. I got to take this out, but I got a bigger one I'm going to replace it with. So I've got to put a spacer down here to make sure that everything's nice and level. And then again, I didn't put as many dogs in as you could. Feels nice and tight, not going anywhere. Let's see if I can play with it. It's actually doing better than I thought it would. And I'm not a hand plane expert. I'm a very rookie hand plane guy.
I just like to make savings. Yeah, there she is. You use a round one instead if you want to. If you like the round. But anyways.
I fucked this board up. So anyways, it's just a nice simple way that you can put dogs in a plywood bench, and they're easily removable. Like I said, this was just an experiment to see if it would work for a future project that I hope you stick around to see. If you want to see that project, you need to make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. And you don't need a big fancy hardwood bench with pop-up dogs, you know. A couple bucks. I think 50 of these was less than $5, I think. I'll put the link for my Amazon affiliate link down in the description for these. And this is really all I bought. Everything else was scraps or things I had around the shop. It's really nice that you're able to put dogs in a plywood bench. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you stick around for the future table saw workbench top build. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right down there, and I'll holler at you next time. Peace! Peace! Making shavings, boys! Making shavings!
Making shavings, boys! Making shavings!